hydrogen growing as a key energy source of the future. Accordingly, the high-pressure vessel to store of the high-pressure hydrogen gases is required to ensure high durability and safety. The high-strength carbon fibers combination with the epoxy dispenser equipping accurate mixing technology does enable to complete a light and more powerful next-generation hydrogen gases storage solution. The implementing of the quantitative control with high accuracy and homogeneous mixing of the epoxy resin and hardener does maximize the performance of hydrogen gases vessel. TAEHA's Epoxy Impregnation System for high-pressure hydrogen gases vessels. Hydrogen vessels are the state-of-art products which consist of high-strength composite materials and multi-layered structures to store and transport hydrogen gases even at high pressure safely. The manufacturing process is consisted of liner molding, carbon fiber filament winding, and epoxy impregnation and curing to make a high-strength structure layer by continuously winding of carbon fibers. Among them, the epoxy impregnation process is a crucial process to determine the durability of the vessel. Even though carbon fiber is famous with high strength, the impregnation by epoxy resin and hardener, which mixed homogeneously, is essential to supplement the lack of adhesion between themselves. Through this process, the vessel is built to bear high pressure given to vessel without the failure. However, the conventional wet winding method is difficult to maintain the certain level of strength which caused by the problems such as the degrades of adhesion between themselves. The adhesion problems are mostly caused by the inaccurate epoxy mixing and bubbles generated incidentally. In addition, the quality is able to be degraded due to manual dispensing, which depending on the grade of workers. To solve these problems, TAEHA has developed an accurate automatic dispenser system. The automatic dispenser system for impregnation process, which based on accurate homogeneous mixing of the resin and hardener, does allow us to maintain total quality for the required strength while considering processing speed for economic feasibility. 1. Accurate quantitative dosing without error. The crucial thing in the impregnation process is to mix the epoxy resin and hardener according to given ratio homogeneously and to dose them to the bath. Our progressive cavity pump technology is able to carry out the accurate mixing of resin and hardener within plus or minus 2% error homogeneously. Pro Duo pump system does enable to maintain the accurate mixing ratio between resin and hardener, as well as accurate dewing within plus or minus 2% accuracy. Coriolis mass flow meter is adopted to monitor and to support accurate control with real-time flow monitoring. A vacuum degassing system is adopted to remove air bubbles in the epoxy resin and hardener to ensure the impregnation process. Now TAEHA has provided a complete impregnation process without the concerning about the inhomogeneous mixing and quality degrades by the technologies and the experiences based on more 30 years with know-how. 2. A homogeneous mixing, perfect impregnation. The epoxy resin and hardener, which homogeneously mixed and accurately dosed to bath, then the epoxy is impregnated deep insides of carbon fibers which passing through the bath. The total performance of the vessel is enhanced by reinforced strength during the process. TAEHA Hybrid Dynamic Mixer technology is one of the keys to enable this high-end system. TAEHA Hybrid Dynamic Mixer is consisted of advanced dynamic mixer and anti-drip valve in one body to perform mixing function with anti-drip function to avoid ball up at end of the mixer after dosing, by high-end mold with injection technology. TAEHA adopts not only high-speed servo motor, but also widens to several ranges to cover the various range of capacities. There are also several types of impeller patterns such as dimple type, helix type, to mix chemical materials homogeneously, which containing ultra-fine fillers. Hybrid dynamic mixer is designed to dispose after using certain time and replaced by new one for easy maintenance and to keep the best performance. However, it also is able to be cleaned for reuse purpose, depend on the chemical materials applied to the mixer and service time of the mixer. The temperature of resin and hardener of the epoxy is controlled to be a constant within range between 20 and 70 degrees Celsius to keep optimal impregnation conditions by elimination of the effect of viscosity by temperature. TAEHA's dispenser system is supporting that the high-pressure hydrogen gases vessel is to have the required strength to bear high pressure without failure. 3. Maximize the efficiency working process with automated systems. The quality of the conventional system is dependent on operators' grades with experiences to save the production cost, even though there are VOC emissions and unreliable degraded quality. TAEHA dispenser system prevents the quality degrade issues fundamentally by the introducing of automation system. The system based on HMI and PLC is adopted as the automatic control system to control the mixing and dosing process accurately based on real-time process data measurement. Automatic cleaning function is available as option to clean resin and hardener in the dosing devices. However, it depends on the chemical material and operating conditions. The circulation function for resin and hardener is also available as option to prevent the sedimentation of solid fillers inside of pipeline. Degassing function is provided to eliminate the bubbles in the resin and hardener because having no bubbles in the resin and hardener is one of the crucial things to keep the quality of mixing and dosing. The self-diagnosis function is provided to respond immediately when the system has events or a failure. The owner of the system is able to increase productivity, reduce maintenance, and ensure a certain level of high-quality products by introducing the TAEHA dispenser system. Introducing the TAEHA dispenser system is the best way to ensure a certain level of hydrogen gas vessel quality through epoxy impregnation with plus or minus 2% accuracy. Improve the strength and durability of hydrogen gas vessels by automated homogeneous impregnation process. Maximize the productivity of your hydrogen vessel by improving process speed and minimizing maintenance. It is an eco-friendly solution that reduces carbon emissions and achieves more efficient hydrogen gas storage. It's a technology that accelerates the sustainable future and the era of hydrogen energy. TAEHA is a frontier of a new standard for the hydrogen energy industry.